This video is designed to show you some of the key concepts we went over in lessons 410 and 411. The goal for today was to be able to divide money by two-digit divisors and also divide decimals by whole numbers. A key tip that we went over today is to remember that whenever you're dividing with decimals, you cannot ever have a remainder. You will need to continue placing zeros at the end of the dividend until you can finally divide evenly. So we're first of all going to take a look at an example of a two-digit number going into a decimal. So we have 106 and 2500ths divided by 85. Now the first thing that we're going to do before we do any dividing at all, we're going to take the decimal and move it right up into the quotient. Now after we move the decimal right up into the quotient, we can just start dividing like we know how to, and just like we normally have been doing with whole numbers divided by whole numbers. Okay, so first of all we take 85 and we think about 85 going into 1. That does not work. 85 cannot go into 10, but I do know 85 can go into 106. I'm going to say one time. So we've divided, now it's time to multiply 85 times 1 is 85. Now it's time to subtract. 6 minus 5 is 1. We cannot take 8 away from 0, so we're going to borrow. Make that 0 into a 10. So now we have 10 minus 8. We know it gives me 2. I'm going to check. 21 is less than 85, so since 21 is less than 85, I can bring down my next number. So now I'm going to start dividing all over again. 85 into 212, and I know 85 goes into 212 two times without going over. And then I have 85 times 2. I can do that off to the side. 5 and 2 is 10, put my 0 there, carry the 1. 8 and 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17, for 170. Now I'm going to subtract 2 minus 0 is 2. 1, we cannot take 7 away from 1, so we're going to have to borrow. Make that 1 into an 11. 11 minus 7 is 4. So 42 is less than 85. Now I'm going to drop my 5 down. So now I have 85 going into 425. Start dividing again. 85 into 425. I'm going to say it's going to go 5 times. 5 times 85. I'll have to do that off to the side. 5 times 85. 5 times 5 is 25. Put my 5 here. Carry the 2. 8 and 5 is 40. Plus 2 is 42. For 425. Write that underneath here. I'm going to subtract. 425 minus 425 is 0. Remember our key tip, whenever we're dividing with decimals, we cannot have a remainder, and we do not have a remainder. So I have 106 and 2500ths divided by 85 equals 1 and 2500ths. You can see the only thing that's different about a problem like this is my very first step is I take the decimal and I put it right up in the quotient. So now we're going to look at the other half of the lesson from today, which is taking money and divide it by two-digit numbers. So we all know how to divide money by one-digit numbers, and we're just taking it a step further in the fact that our divisor is a two-digit number. So my first step, once again, is going to be putting the dollar sign up in my quotient, and also bringing the decimal and putting it right up there as well. Now after I have finished that step, I can start dividing just like I normally would. So now we're going to look at 13 going into 57. That's going to go 4 times. So I've divided, now it's time to multiply. 13 times 4. I'm completely ignoring decimal and dollar signs. 3 and 4 is 12. When I do the 2 there, carry the 1. 1 and 4 is 4, plus 1 is 52. Okay, I can see 52 is less than 57, so I can continue with my division problem. 57 minus 52 is going to give me 5. See, 5 is less than 13, so now I bring down the 2. I'm going to continue to divide 13 into 52. Now I can see I just multiplied 13 times 4, and that gave me 52 over here. So I can kind of cheat a little bit and know that 13 is going to go into 52 evenly. So I can put a 4 right up there. I'm going to still work the problem out. 4 times 13, I can see gives me 52. I'm going to complete the problem. 52 minus 52 is 0. Okay, so I have $5.72 divided by 13. You can see gives me this answer, which whenever we have 0.44 dealing with money, we can put a 0 up there to make it even clearer. That actually equals 44 cents. So $5.72 divided by 13 is 44 cents. And those are the two key concepts we went over today in lesson 4-10 and 4-11.